CQ, the old friends net. This is N4LQ, Steve in Shelby, North Carolina. The old friends net is an amplitude modulation net, and we meet here on Sundays at 4 p.m. and on Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. on 3715. The Old Friends Net is a great place to communicate with other folks of like interest in vintage equipment, especially equipment that glows in the dark and gets very warm. Well, I'm running a Amico TX86 with a crystal vibrating at 3,715 cycles per second and a Drake 2A receiver. So those wishing to check in, please call now.
Good afternoon, Steve, WA4LLR.
KG4IUQ. WF2U.
WB4NKL.
K4IYQ.
K1VVC.
November 4, Alpha Kilo.
W4MEC.
All right, we had a few doubles there. Let's see, I got N4IYQ doubled with, let's see, right after Cliff, somebody called N4IYQ. Who was the other station?
K4JAL.
Gotcha. And let's see, did I hear Mark?
Yes, you did. This is KG4IUQ.
Thought I did. I'll put you there after Jimmy. KG4IUQ. Anybody else? All right, a little fast for the old man this afternoon. Let's see, I've got WA4LLR, KG4IUQ. Oh yeah, there you are. I missed you. Got you after Dave then, Mark. And then WF2U, WB4NKL, N4IYQ, and Jimmy K4JAL, and N4AK, and W4MEC. Do we have anybody that I missed or any additional check-ins?
I wasn't paying attention. This is K1VVC. Did you have me in after Jimmy?
No, I didn't, but I will put you there. K1VVC. Sorry I missed you. We had a bunch of doubles that time. All right. Anybody else? Well, Jimmy will turn it over to John VVC, who gives it to AK. Real quick down the list here, LLR, IUQ, F2U, NKL, IYQ, JAL, VVC, AK, and then MEC. I'll listen one more time for some more check-ins. All right, I do not hear anything. All right, I did change microphones since last time. I had to put a connector on one of my D104s to plug directly into the ICOM instead of going through a bunch of adapters. So it's on the IC7610. I think it sounds better than about anything else I've got. Do have to use an amplified mic with these modern rigs because the input impedance is really low, and you try to hook a crystal mic to them, and you get a little squeaky audio, very weak, and almost no lows at all. So anyway, we got that going, and I'm running about 300 watts or so. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the roundup first. The first go around. WA4LLR, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve. N4LQ. And the old friends, WA4LLR. Good evening to everybody. Good signals so far. 58 degrees, bright sunshine, and very windy up here in the eastern jungles of Yancey County. I'm running the night kit station today, the T150 transmitter and the R100A receiver, with a little help from the SB220. So haven't had this one on in quite some time. So hope it sounded okay. Good weekend thus far. Got a lot of outside work done Saturday, and today we had a good church service and a Thanksgiving dinner at church. And after that, just got back kind of relaxed for a while. So that's the situation here. The Amico sounds good, and the microphone's doing a great job for you, Steve. So Mark, here it comes. I wonder if you're running your 150, KG4IUQ, WA4LLR.
This is KG4IUQ. Yes, I'm running the night kit T150. Been doing a lot of work on it. Made a relay box that kind of copied something that Steve had put a picture about, picture or two. I kind of made mine my own way, I guess. And I'm hoping it's sounding good. I'm using the function switch to turn this, to key the transmitter, turn it up to AM, and that's how I get the thing to turn on. It kind of like the thing. I'm using a Hammerland HQ110 receiver, running about 100 watts, and have a half-wave dipole. Went to church today and played some music, enjoyed it. And I understand that Dave had a good church service. He says he had a Thanksgiving meal there. Steve's sounding good with the Amico TK86. I'll turn it over now to Mayer, WF2U in the group. This is KG4IUQ.
Roger, KG4IUQ in the group. This is WF2U. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Conditions are so-so, but everybody's Q5 at least, and the noise level is pretty low. Everybody sounds pretty good, and it's 75 degrees here. Pretty pleasant. And let's see, Steve, you are 10 over 9, and Dave is 9 with a little bit over, and everybody else is at least S9 plus a little bit. So in general, all good signals. Running the Yaesu station, the FR101 receiver, the FL101 transmitter. Actually, I'm using it in the transceive mode. The transmitter VFO is driving the receiver, so I won't have to adjust two frequencies, and that goes into the FL2100B linear, putting out a little bit over 300 watts into the end-fed halfway 480 meters, which is about 40 feet up in the air. And been busy with outdoor stuff. Again, last week I lost a big tree right behind my barn and still chopping it up. This thing never ends. Anyway, so it goes to Mark. Let's see. No, Mark was before me. Cliff. Cliff, actually you had a pretty strong signal. I think you were just about stronger than Steve. But I'll look at the S meter now, but just by ear when you checked in. So, WB4NKL and the net, this is WF2U.
Okay, Mayor, WF2U is WB4NKL. Running the Globe King 500 here again today. Got 61 degrees and windy. And had some rain there last night. The ground was wet this morning. I think some more rain moving in starting about Wednesday for the rest of the week. I was looking on the internet here that Hammerlin Hullabaloo is starting tomorrow. It runs from November the 17th, 1200 UTC to 1200 UTC on the 18th. And they're going to be operating from the old Hammerlin building with the call W4H and KE4MH. And got a special card they're sending out, commemorative card. So we might want to try to check in with those guys there tomorrow. Not too much else going here. Chuck, send it on over to you. I haven't talked to you. How did the ball game go? N4 IYQ, WB4NKL.
WB4NKL and the old friends N4 IYQ. Well, 60 degrees here and about 12 mile an hour winds, and likewise had a little rain as Cliff did last night. Well, we got defeated in the second round of the Pro-Earths by one touchdown, 35-28. Played Green Hill, which is Mount Juliet, Tennessee, down next to Nashville. So I got back in yesterday about 5 o'clock, drove down Friday. They played their hearts out. It just wasn't meant to be. They actually blocked 3 extra points for the other team, which would have probably helped matters, but then the other team kicked a field goal and made up those 3 points. But grandson did well. He had to end up getting banged up pretty bad. Of course, he's had a rough season. The first game broke a bone and some tendon and ligament damage, but came back. He ran for a 60-yard run for a first down. Almost got the touchdown, but guy caught up to him a little bit, about 5 yards down. But thanks for asking. They had a good season. Proud of the boys. And let's see, it's pretty sunny out here today. A pretty day, just a little brisk with the wind. And it was very windy coming back from the Nashville area yesterday morning, particularly up on the Cumberland Plateau. Jimmy, it's to you, K4JAL and the old friends, N4IYQ.
N4IYQ, K4JAL. Well, good morning or good afternoon or whatever it might be. It's a beautiful day, though. It's 59 degrees, and the wind was up pretty good this morning, but it's all laid down. It's a beautiful day. I'm on the ART-13 and Drake 2A and an N-fed half-wave. That's my story today. Over to you, John. K1VVC, K4JAL.
Yeah, Jimmy, K4JAL, K1VVC. I'm not sure what happened, but your signal dropped down almost to the noise level. I can hardly hear you. I hope you're hearing me okay. Beautiful day here, beautiful weekend. Didn't do anything unusual. Just sat around, relaxed, did some reading, and worked on a couple of radios and helped my wife with a few things. Well, more than a few things. Starting to get prepared for Thanksgiving. I'm running the Johnson Viking 500 today, and receiving on the ITT Mackie 3010C receiver to my inverted V. And Glenn, let me turn it over to you. I wonder if you had trouble hearing Jimmy. N4AK, K1VVC.
K1VVC and the group, November 4 Alpha Kilo. 68 degrees here at sunset. A bit windy here also, but it's nice and sunny. Beautiful day. Running the FTDX10. And the antique part of this is my SB200, so about 110 watts. And the guys with the Johnson 500s are running about 15 over 9, John SU and NKL. Everybody else is about a 9 and 10 over 9. A little bit of QSB up there on some of the stations, but copying everybody just fine. Saw some comments about the ARRL on Facebook. John, I see you made some. I made some. And I saw, I'm sure I misread that, but they upped the salary for the CEO, $50,000 this year and $50,000 next. So Charlie, I know you're going to love that one. Sounds like somebody's getting overpaid. W4MEC N4AK.
N4AK and the old friends, W4MEC. Good afternoon, everybody. And band's getting a little flaky here. I know my rig antenna. I'll find out when I release the PTT here. Maybe it was my relay, but it almost dropped down on me when he was booming in. Clip is so strong. On my HQ129X, I had to have the RF gain turned almost all the way down before the darn needle came off the pin. So it's got that thing buried in the right side there. We're running a ART13, receiving on a 129X today through a NFED halfway. We got about 59 degrees here, a little windy. We didn't get any of the promised rain last night that was supposed to have been gone by noon, so they got half of that right. It didn't rain, but it was gone by noon. Anyway, yeah, I got everything fired up and I couldn't figure out what in the world was going on. I could hear Steve falling, and I had a lot of background noise. I couldn't figure out why my antenna wasn't hooked up. I'm checking all the switches going on around here. I forgot to throw them. Well, this station here is on a totally independent AC circuit, but the rest of the station is on a master on-off switch, which includes my remote coax switch. So I'm double checking everything and flipping switches, and it dawned on me I need to turn on the master power. So when I did that, everything lit up antenna wise anyway. So oh well, just forget for Jones on this end. Back to you, Steve. N4LQ in the group. W4MEC.
Okay, W4MEC, N4LQ. Yeah, real good. Well, let me make an adjustment here. Okay, yeah, that might help a little bit, reduce the smoke in here. This is N4LQ. Do we have any more check-ins to the net? Please call.
WA4EVK. November 4 Whiskey Delta.
Okay, there you go, WA4EVK and N4WD. Glad you guys could make it. Kind of missed Boone there. I hadn't heard you for a while. And Bruce, we were on 160 last night, but for some reason he had trouble hearing me, and he was 10 over 9 on this end. Weird conditions. One-way skip, as they say. So let's see, Boone, go ahead and take it, and then give it to Bruce, and then Bruce give it back to me. WA4EVK, N4LQ.
N4LQ. WA4EVK.
Well, it was kind of an exciting evening. I've been sick or down in the well or whatever you want to call it for a few days. I'm feeling better now. But I remembered at the last minute about the 4 o'clock time change. Came running in here, couldn't get anything working, pulled my hair out and realized I had the wrong rig hooked up to everything that mattered. And finally got the right coax connections and everything else met. That's what I get for getting forgetful about the time. And that's about it. Running the AF68 into Swan Mark 1 using a little SDR receiver and Drake 2C combination for receive. Hope the signal's good. I've got the conditions on the band are kind of weird. Someone else said that, but I can hear some stations that were normally really loud or good in here, and others that normally aren't. So we got some condition shifting around, I guess. And Bruce, I think it's N4WB to take it, WA4EVK.
Everything's good. We're running the 7300, about 30 watts into an inverted L. Running on one speed. That's about it. We're just at the last afternoon out this morning trying to get it situated.
Okay. The N4WD, N4LQ. Yeah, well, Bruce, your signal's only about S8 or so, but I did copy. So, anybody else want to join? N4LQ. All right. Been wondering where KZ4B is. I guess I need to call him, get him on the phone. And Buddy, hadn't heard him for a couple of sessions here. Hope they're okay. And Boone, I'm glad you're feeling better. Let's see. I got signal reports so you can compare them. Otherwise, they wouldn't mean anything. But this is what my digital meter showed. LLR was plus 18, IUQ was plus 2, F2U is plus 15, NKL plus 25, IYQ plus 24, JAL plus 15, BVC plus 16, AK plus 20, MEC is plus 17, EVK is plus 18, and Bruce NWD is S8. So very good on the Hammerlin Hullabaloo. Somehow I got confused and thought it was supposed to be yesterday. So I brought up the reverse beacon, and there they were. They called CQ with W4H on 40 meters, but they were long gone and they didn't show up the rest of the day, so I assumed they were just testing. So it's tomorrow and Tuesday. So we'll keep an eye on that. On CW, you can bring up the reverse beacon and find them real quick. Just put their call sign in there and it'll search all the bands and find them. Then there's the one they recommended was I think for voice and digital, but I forgot what it's called, DX something. It's a spotting thing, but you can find if somebody spots them, you can find them that way and work them. So that'll be pretty cool. And mirror okay on the tree that fell, and your antenna's doing a good job for you. Let's see, anything else of note here. And it rained for Chuck. That's good. I can't believe somebody got rain. We could certainly use some. It's starting to get dry. It's been a really dry fall. We had that one big rain, about 3 inches, about a week and a half or something ago, and that's been it. And I don't see anything for the future. And let's see. Dave, that T150 really sounds good. And running 100. Let's see. You said you're running. I don't know what you said you're running. I think you're using the SB220 with it. So the carrier is nice and steady. I don't see any modulation. Now, I do see it on Mark, but I think you're not using the amplifier. And that does seem to make a difference. I'm not sure how that works, but it does. I can see the fluctuations. He said 100 watts. If everybody would report their power in carrier power, it seems to make a little more sense. My carrier power right now is 301, and the PEP is, of course, probably about 4 times that. And let's see, so that's 2 T150s, and mirrors on a Yaesu, and got a Globe King for Cliff. He's got the big signal. I just wonder how much carrier power that thing's running. It's got to be at least a kilowatt. And Viking 500, of course, is helping John out. So, but the signals all sound beautiful and good audio on everybody. It's 65. It got up to about 74 today. And on the way to Gastonia, my truck was saying 79. My wife said, no way. And she said, it's coming off the blacktop. I said, I am driving. We were going 90 miles an hour and traffic was all around us on I-85. Can you believe that? So I said, that thermometer's got a good wind on it, so it's probably not being affected by anything except the air. So let's see. I guess I'll turn it around again. Back to Dave, WA4LLR, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, fine business. N4LQ, WA4LR. Looks like the carrier power in this one's about 225. Between 225 and 250. Driving it with about 10 watts out of the T150. Maybe a hair more than that. But yeah, it's nice to have it back on. Yeah, I'm running the Nightkit R100A receiver. Let's see here. Mark, good deal on the playing some church music this morning. Amir, the Yesu's doing a good job as usual. Cliff, you're strong over here, of course. That's it would be weird if you weren't. Mark, sorry that the team lost that last game, but sounded like they played a heck of a game. Anyway, Jimmy, the ART sounds great. Good afternoon to you, John. Sounded like you had a good weekend, taking it easy. And Glenn, you are absolutely blasting in up here. The old SB200 is doing a good job for you. And Charlie, you're booming in as well. Good evening to you, Boone. AF68's doing well. And Bruce, good to hear you, buddy. 7,330 watts, I believe you said. Doing a great job. No problem copying you. You're about 15 to 20 over on the R100A estimator. It's a little liberal, but you're coming in quite well. Space weather's calmed down quite a bit. The CME from that last X-flare on Friday missed us, which is good. Sunspot count's 97, solar flux index is 132, and the K is 3, which is quiet. Look, excuse me, looking at a few items from this day in history. On this day in 2012, Hostess Brands announced a shutdown, which sparked a national wave of snack cake hoarding. Within a week, Amazon saw a 31,000% jump in Twinkie sales. Oh man, gotta have them Twinkies. Now let's see, on this day 1776, the British captured Fort Washington. On this day in 1821, trade opens on the Santa Fe Trail. On this day in 1907, Oklahoma entered the Union. On this day in 1959, The Sound of Music premiered on Broadway. And on this day in 1974, the Arecibo radio telescope transmitted a message with the attempt to communicate with extraterrestrials. It was sent into space. So there you go, a few items from this day in history. Here comes Mark, KG4IUQ, WA4LLR.
Thank you very much, Dave. You sounded very strong here. And Steve is too. This is KG4IUQ. Mayer is sounding good here. I understand he's running his Yaesu station with the FR101 receiver and the FL101 transmitter, and he's been busy outdoors chopping a tree. Cliff, NKL on the Globe King 500, sounding good here. 61 degrees there and windy. Chuck, N4IYQ, 60 degrees at his location with wind 12 miles per hour. Most everybody's sounding good. One or two stations were weak, but it's kind of fluctuating. K4JAL on the ART13 sounds good. VVC John, K1VVC on the Viking 500 and the ITT Mach-A 3010C. Sounds good here. N4AK, sounding good. Talking about some comments on Facebook. Somebody's salary is going up. That sounds interesting to me. About 68 degrees over there, I guess in Sunset, where Glenn is. Charlie, W4MEC on the ART13. Sounds good. And boom. Been sick. Hope you're feeling better now. He's on the AF68. Sounds good. Using an SDR receiver. And N4WD Bruce was weak in here. Kind of hard to copy. I'll turn it over now to WF2U in the group. This is KG4IUQ.
Yeah, very good, Mark. Good signal. KG4IUQ, this is WF2U. Excellent signals are holding up. A little QSB here and there. Steve, you gained 10 dB in signal strength, and interestingly enough, nobody else. Everybody's at the same level, but you came up to 20/9 at some peaks. So conditions might be changing a little bit. And yeah, we had a little mini storm with gusts of like about 30 miles an hour. If I recall, that was like Monday night or something. And one big tree fell. Didn't touch anything. It was just fell right in the open. And but it's an area. It's a nice flat grassy area that you do some dog training on. So we have to clean all that debris. So I started to cut it up. It's a real big trunk, about foot and a half in diameter, and I debranched it already, and half of the length of the trunk, which is, boy, that must be about at least 30, 40 feet long. Yeah, it's more than that. Actually, at least 40 feet long. Looked like it was a little bit rotted towards the bottom, and it just anyway, just I have two nice big professional chainsaws that I haven't used since Helene, and now they didn't want to start, and I troubleshooted both of them. I have no spark in either, so now I have to, I don't know why, but I read that sometimes chainsaws, if they are not used for a while, for some reason, the coil just opens up or something. I guess maybe it's a crappy manufacturing process, and probably just corrosion or something. But that's the way it is. So I have the chainsaw because I have one as a backup, just in case something happens with the other one. So I ordered the part for the Husqvarna. About $15 for a replacement solenoid for the ignition. Anyway, so while I've been being busy with that, I haven't touched any radio projects. Hopefully while I'm waiting for that and I can't do any outside work without the chainsaws, I'll be able to squeeze a few hours here and there. And Boone, you are S9 here, and Bruce, you're a little bit QSB on you. There's a little QSB on you. You're fluctuating between S8 and S9. Good to hear you all. So back there to Cliff. WB4NKL and the group. This is WF2U.
Okay, Mayor, WF2U is WB4NKL. Good copy all the way around. Everybody's sounding good, and the T150s, both of those are sounding good. Don't know where John's at. He could add another one to the pile there, and they're doing a good job. I never did have much luck with the gas chainsaws. I've had them, and it's hard to keep them running. It seems to be for me, and I went with an electric. Last one I bought, Steve recommended. That's what I think the brand I got's in Oregon. And it seems to do pretty good. It's a plug-in electric, and it runs pretty good off my old Honda 2,000 watt generator. And it never fails to start. It's doing a good job. Got out yesterday and I didn't use it, but I've got a little steel battery operated trimming saw, and Linda wanted to trim up some of the shrubs and bushes around here, so I used it quite a bit. And I don't think I'll ever go back to gas powered. It's just, I guess if you used them every day, it'd be all right. It's like me run into, if you let them sit, they're hard to get going again. So, I'll go on to Chuck. Go ahead, Chuck. N4IYQ, WB4NKL.
WB4NKL and the group N4IYQ. Well, we're on the multi-Outback AF68 today, driving the SB221. Looks like right at 300 watt carrier, receiving on the PMR8. Good copy all the way around. And Boone, glad you're feeling better after being sick a few days. I think there's some upper respiratory stuff going around from what I hear. And interesting on the Hammerland event yesterday, or tomorrow, maybe we can get in there. And the gas chainsaws, yeah, I've never had very good luck with them. I think a lot of it is, though, the grandsons come borrow them and they bring them back and they've got issues, so I don't know if it's the chainsaw or the grandsons. But anyhow, wouldn't mind having one of the electric ones. I've got a little Craftsman at work. It's on a pole saw. It works out pretty good. It plugs in, and you can take it off the pole saw and use it just as a freestanding handheld chainsaw. Works out okay. Let's see, certainly good to hear you down there, Bruce. Hadn't talked to you in a while. And a good turnout today with 12 at the earlier day. I let time slip up on me. I actually didn't watch the emails on the group last week to find out we got in here at 4, so I was tardy getting in and didn't bother holding anybody over. Need to make this my last one. Got to run to town and do a couple of things, and got a daughter with a leaf blower. I think her throttle cable's broke, so need to try to figure that out. So let me say good afternoon all the way around. Everybody have a blessed day. Hope to catch you all Tuesday. It's to you, Jimmy, K4JAL, N4IYQ.
N4IYQ, K4JAL. Boy, I'm hoarse today, and I don't understand it. Guess it's part of old age. What was I going to say? Oh, I've had all kinds of expensive chainsaws, Husqvarnas and Johnsons, and they're all not worth a flip. And then I bought the cheapest thing I could find, a Poulin several years ago, and it really starts. So it's hard to say. Got good news on Helen. I was afraid she was flatlining over there when she was having her debacle with Mission Hospital, but it turned out to be equipment. They hung a monitor on her, and her heart is very stable, so we can stop worrying about that. She's been painting today, and she completed really a pretty religious painting. I think it's one of the best she's ever done. So there you go. That's what's going on around here. Over to you, John. K1VVC, K4JAL.
Oh, very good, Jimmy. K4JAL, K1VVC. And the signal is much better that time. So I guess just conditions. And glad to hear that she's doing well. And doing something she obviously enjoys. That's great. And there is a part I'm looking for. It's kind of a strange part. I don't know whether anybody has one. But I'm sure everybody's familiar with the small little fittings, couplings for putting together 2/4-inch shafts, about 1/2 inch long, usually made out of brass. Has a couple of set screws in it for grabbing the shaft on either side. Well, I've got several of those. What I need is one for a 1/8 inch shaft, and I don't have anything even in my parts that I have that uses a 1/8 inch shaft. It goes on a Kenwood R820 receiver, and the one that was on there is made out of nylon with 2 little set screws, but it's all broken. So I don't know if anybody else finds one. Bring it to lunch for me. Oh, other than that, it's been great talking to everybody today. I'll probably listen to the end. So let me turn it over to my friend Glenn, N4AK, K1VVC.
Okay, John, K1VVC in the group, N4AK. Sounds like the band is settling down a little bit. There's been a little QSB on some of the signals. Steve, it seems like you have a consistent signal quality, at least at my location, under all conditions. So I guess you're running the loop. Whatever it is, it's always seems good at my location. Dave, thanks for the signal report. And audio is good. Thanks for bringing us up to date on the happenings of the world. Jimmy, glad your XYL doesn't have the problem and it's only the equipment. And Boone, glad that you're on the mend. Chainsaws, only electric anymore. That's the way to go. Chainsaw, blowers, everything. I don't have to mess with a cranking in the east and going buying gasoline. So that's the way it goes. And the batteries do a pretty good job as far as lasting. I'm going to sign on this one. I've enjoyed it, but I'm going to listen to the end. So, and InfoLQ, your TX86 and Drake rig sounds very good. You've probably got the oldest antique on today and the rarest. So, Charlie, W4MEC and 4AK.
Okay, Glenn, N4AK. And the group, W4MEC, real good. That time, everybody held in really good. And since Steve wanted to know, I'm running about 100 watts out, peaking about 300 or so on the, a little more than 300, I guess, on the R13. And it says SOP for that. Oh, get down here back in my chair where I'm closer to the dynamotor, so you'll can hear it. That 1/8" shaft, you know, John, I made those for, when you said Kenwood, I made a couple for Kenwood, and I can't remember what rig it was, but, and they didn't need to be insulated. And I don't know why they made them out of nylon or whatever it was, but I just took 1/4" rod and drilled right through the middle of them, and then cross drilled them and tapped it for a couple of screws, and I made 2 of those, and it was for an antenna tuner. That's what it was. It was for an auto tuner, and they did not need to be insulated. So I said, well, what the heck, you know? So think about a metal. Let's see. Haven't done a whole lot here. I was working yesterday in the yard with rake up leaves session number 2. I blew my roof off again. It was all, my gutters are all, gutter guard were all full of leaves there, and I don't have that expensive gutter guard. I don't know what this stuff is. It's perforated metal, and it just hooks to the edge of the gutter there and works really well. I can go along the edge with my leaf blower and blow all the stuff right off the top of it. And I got an electric leaf blower and plug in the wall electric, and that I got from Harbor Freight, and I got an electric tool saw I got from Harbor Freight. Everything still works there, and I have a battery operated leaf blower that my wife found when she was camping one time down at Myrtle Beach. And she picked it up and said, oh, wow. And it had the charger and everything. It left right for the trash man. And she said, well, I'm going to get that because I know probably I could fix it. And they have a inline fuse in those things. It looks like it's a axial lead about the size of a, I don't know, 1 watt resistor. And it's actually a fuse. And you can actually buy them off of Amazon, the exact part, but I just jumpered the darn thing out. It was in the charging circuit for some reason, but anyway, it works just fine, and charges the battery up. Works great. Apparently the fuse blew, and who knows, maybe a voltage surge when they plug something in, but so I've got that, and she uses that a lot, and around on the porch to blow the porch off, but. And I do have 2 gas chainsaws. Both of them have quit. The one Poulan that I've had forever, it probably just needs me to get in there and clean the carburetor out and all that. It's got spark, but it's not running. And another one I got that was given to me, the gas feed lines that are down in the tank rotted or whatever, and And I've tried everything. I've used hemostats and grabbers, and I've tried to replace the fuel lines in that thing, and I just can't get it. And the only way to take that thing apart to get to the gas tank is to basically take the entire motor apart, including splitting the case halves and take them apart. You know, just open the crankcase up. You got to completely take it down to bits and pieces to get to the darn gas tank. So I gave up. But I do have an electric chainsaw. It works amazingly well. Again, Harbor Freight. Ultimately cheap. They actually work very well. I have no complaints. And that electric one, plug-in electric one, I can hold it at arm's length and use it to trim tree branches and things like that, and not get too tired anyway. Yeah, just go with Harbor Freight El Cheapo. Let's see, who is that after me? Boone, WA4EVK, W4MEC.
W4MEC in the group, WA4EVK. Let me adjust this thing out here. Well, see, it looks like I'm running about 250 watts carrier. And Jimmy, hey, glad your wife's getting better, and it sounds like she's enjoying her hobby there, painting. Yeah, that's a good thing. I didn't feel bad enough this week, except just not wanting to do anything, just ugly. So I just really happy to get back at it. I don't think it was the flu, but who knows anymore. On the chainsaws, I had a couple of, or still do, but I bought a pole saw, electric pole saw, and right 3 or 4 years ago, and rigged up my generator on a large wheel so I could drag it around with a tractor or lawnmower, the big lawnmower. And that works so well I decided to try a plug-in electric, and I've never looked back. I really like the plug-in electrics better. I don't have to, there's enough electronic stuff around here to work on. I don't need to work on a chainsaw every time I want to use it, which would seem like what I had to do with the gas ones. And they got used fairly often when I lived down in Texas, but I still had to seem like work on them every time I picked one up to use it. So that is a good thing about the electric. And Charlie, Tuesday I got bit by the cable that runs between the Thor's modulator power supply section and the amplifier. I'm going to have to take that thing and just go through it pin by pin. I found it out the next day that I'd moved the units around and the cable was not making good contact. It's good to hear everybody on here. Everybody's got a great signal today. Bruce, a little weak, but good clear audio, so that's not bad at all. So I'm going to toss it on over to you. N4WB to take it, WA4EVK.
Okay, Boone. I'm glad you're feeling better. N4WD. Yeah. The fuel line is down in the tank. If you order, some places, if you order a kit that so you can re-tube that thing, that they have a little tool, and it's a piece of wire with kind of a knot or something on the end of it, and you feed it down through that fuel line, and then the knot, it's got to be the right size for that tube, but you just pull it back through the tank, and then when you put the new one in, you go and do the reverse to it. But I usually just lube mine down and shove it down in there, and then put that little wire thing down through it, and then pull it down in there while I'm pushing it down. So I don't know if that'll help you on that or not. That's what I did on mine. I just used the little thing they sent with it, and with a rebuild kit for it, and got it going that way. So everybody's sounding good. I heard everybody that round. Enjoyed being in here this weekend. Y'all have a blessed rest of the weekend and blessed and safe week to come. And if I happen to be up at time in the morning,
I'll try to check in on one of the morning then. Other than that, I'm going to say 73s, everybody. Y'all have a good day, the rest of it, and we'll catch you the next time. And hopefully, we'll see what we can do tonight, Steve. Maybe some more will show up. N4LQ, N4WD, or, well, was there somebody behind me? Geez, I'll give it to you just in case, N4WD.
All right, yeah, we need some company. We need some company on 160, that's for sure. N4LQ, I'll listen one more time for a super late check-in. All right, nothing heard. Well, let's see real quick here. Twinkies are probably the best single piece of food ever made. And I still, if I get in a gas station, I'm very dangerous when I get near the Twinkie rack. And let's see, Mark, your signal came way up to 20 over 9. I don't know if you turn on the amplifier or what. Beautiful audio. I mean, it's really, it's better than studio quality, that's for sure. Chainsaws, yeah, the one that Cliff and I got is electric plug-in and organ, and it's self-sharpening, so it starts getting dull. You just hold the trigger in and push this button, and this little sharpener comes down and sharpens up the chain. So you never have to sharpen it until it wears out, I guess, which hadn't happened for me yet. It seems to work okay. I don't know if Cliff, if you've tried that or not. And thanks, Glenn, for the report. Yeah, the loop antenna goes out there and lassos all the other antennas. I don't know. The TX86 is by far not the oldest. It's 1961 vintage. I would say the ART13s are probably 20 years older, probably 41 instead of 21. And I ran into a video that described this object, this device, for gas engines that are hard to start. And all it is, it's a gas cap that has a primer plunger on it. And you just replace your gas cap with this thing and give it a few pumps, and that pressurizes your tank. And he showed how he started a dead lawnmower with it. It's called the Push and Start, PUSH-N-START, Push and Start, if you want to look it up. So if you got a contrary gas engine, of course I don't know if all gas caps are the same size. I guess that's something I just don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Probably not. So let's see. This will be the 73 round. IYQ is checked out. VVC is checked out. AK is gone. N4WD has checked out. That's all I've got so far. So Dave, WA4LLR to take it. N4LQ. Oh, well. Hey, John. Yeah, what's going on over there?
I was watching the football game, so I didn't check in on time. I would appreciate an audio report on violating my own rule and using a solid state amplifier. So I just shotgunned it. I won't keep it any longer, but what feedback do I get? Over.
Okay. Yeah, you're really weak here. You're only about S9. Audio sounds okay, though. No problem at all. Is that all you needed then? I'm glad you could make it here. Okay. All right, Dave, go ahead and take it. LLR N4LQ.
All righty. N4LQ. And the group WA4LR. Well, good afternoon, John. You're sounding good up here in the Burnsville. I assume you're running the T150. That makes 3 on the air today. But audio sounds good. No problem whatsoever. Well, don't have much more here. Steve, thanks for calling it. 7-3 to everybody. Hope you have a great day, the rest of the day, and Lord willing, we'll catch up with you on Tuesday morning. Mark, here it comes. KG4IUQ, WA4LLR.
This is KG4IUQ. Well, my carrier power here is about, according to my meter, it appears as about 10 watts. On Steve's LP700, it measured about 16 a few weeks ago, and my output power looks like about 100 watts peak. I understand LQ Steve has said that Twinkies are the best food, and loop antennas go out and lasso all other antennas. Very interesting. I have my little chainsaw. I don't have any trouble with it. It wasn't working in about 2014, and I fixed it. Didn't know what I was doing, but I stayed with it, got it fixed. What I do is every year at the end of the season, I burn all the gas out of it, pour out any gas might be in the gas tank, and I put it away, and it always cranks. Okay, I will turn it over now to WF2U in the group. This is KG4IUQ.
Yeah, okay, KG4IUQ in the group. This is WF2U. Yeah, very good. Everybody's still holding up here, and John K's at 4B. You were between S8 and S9, a little QSB. But all signals are good. Steve, you're holding at 20 over, and everybody else is just sitting where I reported the signals before. So far, not too much change in propagation, but it's good timing. It's time for me to feed the dogs. So, about chainsaws, a real electric chainsaw that you plug it in is not going to be doing much good here, because it's where I really need it. It's not going to reach anything, any outlet with my property, so it's not going to work. What I have is a Ryobi 8-inch little battery-powered saw. It's the 18-volt, and I can do a lot of work with it, like debranch trees and cut up to. I actually had sometimes cut about a foot in diameter trunks when I didn't have the other chainsaws handy. But I can't rely on a regular electric. It would be too much of a pain in the neck with extension cords and whatever. And I don't feel like spending the money for a big inverter to run with a tractor, and that's going to be also a waste of diesel. If I would be running an inverter while the tractor is running, it would make sense to me. But obviously, when you can reach the site that you need it with an extension cable, then it makes sense. So that's the way it is. I read all I could read and learned about both my steel and my steel chainsaw is the newer one, and it has an interesting starter. For the first half of the pull actually winds up a spring, and the second pull, actually the spring gets loose, and that turns the motor. So you really don't have to pull hard. You can just pull any slow and as slow as you want, because the wound up coil spring is going to do the starting. It's really great. So now I have to go and change the coil on that. I have to check. I think it's still under warranty, so I'm going to fix the Husqvarna first. I'm ordering the Amazon has those ignition systems for. It's all potted. You can't even touch it anywhere. It's about $15, so it's no big deal. Anyway, it was good. It was a good net, nice, quiet band, and everybody sounded good. So thanks, Steve, for running the net. And 73 all, I'll be listening to the official end of the net. So Cliff, pick it up. WB4NKL in the group. WF to you.
Yeah, WF2U, it's WB4NKL. Yeah, good copy all the way around. Good signals here today. I run my little chainsaw off of a Honda 2 kilowatt generator, a little portable generator, and it seems to run it just fine. And hadn't had any trouble with it. He said he had one he pulled around. That sounds like a lot bigger generator than what I'm using. John, the T150 sounds good. If that's what you're running, good modulation with the solid state amp. It sounds like you got it adjusted right. And let's see, carrier power. I forgot to mention that. Running about 300 watts here on this Heath kit. On the carrier on this rope thing. So it's jumping up to close to over a kilowatt on the peaks, looks like. Hard to tell on this analog meter. That's about it from here. Thanks for calling it, Steve, and we'll try to catch everybody Tuesday. I'll try to get back on 160. Seems like something comes up about every night. But I'll try to get back out here some this week. I see Chuck left. I think Jimmy's next. K4 JAL. It's WB4NKL.
WB4NKL, K4JAL. Well, I'm doing about 100 watts carrier, I'd say. I don't see well, and the meter don't talk well either. Yeah, I'm going to say goodbye to K4JAL 73. I guess it goes to Charlie. W4MEC, over to you, Charlie.
Okay, Jimmy, K4 JAL on the group W4MEC. I was just checking my frequency. I was started about 300 high, and now about 200 something low, so 100 something low. So it's a little chilly here in the shack. So okay, well, tractors and inverters made me think of something humorous. I pictured in my mind a tractor PTO flex drive to a chainsaw. How about that? Make an adapter to hook your PTO shaft to a flexible shaft like a Dremel tool thing and have it hooked to a chainsaw. I bet you that'd be rough to tame. And that starter you mentioned there, Mir, reminded me of the old Briggs & Stratton crank-up starter. I don't know if you remember that thing many years ago. I don't know who thought that one up, but you cranked and cranked and cranked and wound up a spring, and when you slammed the handle home, the spring would spin the darn Briggs & Stratton motor and supposedly get it to start. But my dad had a shop in the 60s for those things. He did all kinds of stuff and fixing those, gas motors like that, lawnmowers. He did that, and that's the one I hated because unless he would take that top off and put a pull starter on it so he could work on the motor, and then after that he'd put that crank-up starter on there because he spent half your life cranking that stupid thing up to get the motor to start. So And thanks for the info, Bruce, on that a real rebuild kit for that tank. I'll go look into that, and maybe I can find out, get one for mine, and do what you're saying there. Do some gas tank surgery from going through the filler cap there to get down in there and put those things, put those lines on those little barbs in there and get that thing going again. Alrighty, folks, we'll look for you on Tuesday morning, and I have to also say what Cliff said. Every time I plan on 160 in the evening, something seems to come up. So, and believe it or not, I'll be leaving here after the net to go across town to fix a washing machine for a widow lady. So I got volunteered. So here I go. 7-3 all. We'll see you on Tuesday. I forgot who's next. I'm gonna turn over to Boone. WA4EVK, W4MEC.
W4MEC in the group, WA4EVK. Good luck, Charlie, with that washing machine. They can be bad. Thank you, Steve, for running the net. I'll see everybody on 160 here later in the evening. Around here, all kinds of things can happen. But anyway, I'm going to aim to see you there. And Cliff, yeah, I've got about an 8,000 watt generator that I put on a gorilla cart. I wanted something big enough I could haul it behind my small farm tractor, because it seemed that I was always needing a generator out along the fence line when I lived down in Texas. And I'll tell you what, getting one with those small wheels on it, in and out of a pickup or up on a trailer and off, I just finally broke down and bought a big cart, and I could pull it on the small farm tractor we got, or the big zero-turn mower. So I just haul that all over the property and use a pole saw or electric chainsaw. And I sure did get to where I liked it better, I'll tell you that. That's about it on this end. 73s, everybody, and have a good one. Looks like goes back to you, Steve. N4LQ, WA4EVK.
Okay, real good. A gorilla cart, I just envisioned that. Strange. All right, guys, it's been great. It's been a very informative, entertaining, and productive net today. I hope you guys can make it at 8 o'clock on 1864 tonight. So with that, we'll say 73s. John, have a good day. Tell us all about what's going on with the, I guess, the amplifier or whatever later on. Next net, Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock here on 3715. 73s, N4LQ, closing the net.